I am so happy, I got them all, open them one by one. Hello awesome viewers, welcome to AC Studio. My Terminators have finally arrived. I cannot wait to open them. The Terminators are in fact my favorite out of all the Warhammer Space Marine figures. I remember when I was young, I always win with Terminators in tabletop games. And the look of these Terminators still pretty much the same. They never really change since day one when I played Warhammer. So they're very original and I really love them. And these figures will give me good old memories. I have decided to buy the whole set straight away because I've learned, from my past mistake when the Black Legion Chaos Terminator released, and I only got 1 or 2 figures because I was thinking I want to save money. Eventually, I started chasing, the other figures that I did not have, and it became more expensive. So this time, I get it all in one go, and I really love the Terminators, and I'm quite sure the Terminators will look really good with my Landraider together, which I'm going to show you at the end of this video. Okay, I just cannot wait anymore, and let's dive into the figures. So in this first video, I'm going to review 3 figures, and I'll have another video coming in the next few days reviewing the other 3 figures. So please keep an eye on my videos, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Honestly speaking, I'm more excited at these figures than this figure. If you watched my last video, you'll know what had happened and why I pulled this thing apart. So anyway, so these 3 will be the next video, and whereas in this video we're gonna look at this. Alright, let's have a look at the box first, quickly, and then we will open the figure. Surprisingly, I thought the box would be the same size as the Terminator Captain, because they're both Terminators, but it is not actually. It's a little bit taller. So, first one, okay, got the clear base again, and then we got this Terminator. Oh, cannot wait to open it. And that's how it looks like in the box. Clear base, and let's open it. And that's how it looks like in the box. Clear base, and wow, that looks humongous. Anyway, let's open it. I think this one probably the coolest looking one. Alright, I've unboxed these 3 Terminators. Let's start by looking at the Sergeant. Alright, so the Sergeant, and so we got this motto which is pink in grey color. I'm personally not too sure why it is grey, because back in my days, right, everything is gold. So if someone can tell me why, that'll be really good. And this is highlighted with a lighter grey color. Yeah, so the highlighting is very nice on this one. And then we look at the helmets. The helmet is basically the same sculpt as the one with the Cyclone Missile Launcher. So it's the same hat, but because it's a Sergeant, it is painted red with a white strip in the middle. So, and then it paints it in green, so the targeting system is in green color, the eye lens is in green, metallic green as well. That is very nice, I really like it. And this is in silver metallic color as well. In the middle, the skull motto and the 𝗨𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗺, so that everything looks really nice together. And this upper torso is exactly the same mold as the one with the assault cannon. Then we have a belt piece, which is actually a loose piece in it, right? All the Terminators are loose piece as well. So, and I'm not too happy with this loose piece. I just don't like, when I move the arms and the legs around, this thing kind of move together. And on the belt, there is a 𝗪𝗟𝗔 scrolls here. And then it got this really interesting belt piece with writing on it, with scripts on it. And it got scripts all over the body, on the shoulder and there as well. Pretty much everywhere, even the back. Although you got all the scripts over the body, but I personally, right, I don't really like it because it looks like, it looks like restaurant menu, it looks like Italians written on over the body. But anyway, that's my view. And on the shoulder, it got the crushed Terminators, so that looks really nice as well. Also in grey, and then highlight with a white color, and also on the legs as well. That's a very nice detail. And got this really big purity seal as well, but this is actually quite thick as well. And then it's got the skull motto on it here, the iron skull. Yep, one there, one there. This hand keep on falling off, so the ball joint is not that strong. It's actually quite loose. Yeah, after you pull it out and put it back a few times, it's just getting really loose, similar to the first generation figures. And at the back, well, there's nothing much happening at the back, but except you got this really nice pipe, and everything seems alright. And then the Terminator with the assault cannon also got a similar details. As I said, the mold of the upper torso is the same as the one in Sergeant as well. And on the shoulder, you got the crushed Terminators as well. It is actually a different mold to the one in the Sergeant, but I think it is the same as the one with the missile launcher. Yep, it is exactly the same one. And then we have the assault cannon. The assault cannon got nothing really special about this. The barrel doesn't rotate, and the only feature that is operable is the arm piece here. So what happens is if you actually pull this out, and that is how it looks like. So you see, that's how it looks like. So it is the same design as the Chaos Terminator, which was released, more than 1.5 years ago by now, I guess. And it got this armor piece, which can also rotate as well. So the first thing you do is you put the arm into the handle first, then you just cover it up like that, then you insert it like that together. So you just put it together like that, and make sure it click. Yep, click. All right, that's how it works. The good thing about this generation of Terminators, as compared to the first generation, the joint is actually quite tight. So this piece is a quite heavy piece. Unlike the previous Terminator, right? Because this piece is so heavy, but the joint is so weak. So every time you try to put it up, it falls down, right? You see, it falls down. So, now it doesn't. So you see, it actually stays where it is. So, which is really good. So if I want to move it like that, it's great. Look at it. I can move it like that as well. Move it down. The shoulder doesn't fall down. And on this figure, you got a very nice, power fist detail. And which also got the pipes connecting to the back, but the difference is it got this extra green cable next to the pipe, so which is different from the Sergeant. Which one you see, Sergeant doesn't have one, which one this one have a green cable. It also got a big skull motto with the lower rev, so that's really nice detail. It is in white color, but I prefer it in gold color though. But anyway, and the letters are not recessed, detail, which I'm not too happy with. It's just a print, and it got a very nice badge on the belt. And the back, nothing really special, similar detail as the Sergeant as well. And again, you got this restaurant menu on the body. I don't really like the look of them, but anyway, without this, I think the figure looks better. That's my personal opinion, of course, but that's it for this one. And the next one, that's my favorite one, the Terminator with the Cyclone Missile Launcher. The missile launcher, definitely a highlight of this figure. Details are pretty nice, and the launcher can rotate as well. Look at that. That looks really cool. Look at it. So that can rotate 360 actually. Well, almost 360. But there are no other features except for just rotating. The missile doesn't, come out or anything like that, and it got decent amount of details on the top of it. Got this targeting system as well, which is also in metallic color and a metallic green to the pipe. It got a sculpt motto as well, very nice. I like the back of it, and it got this nice sculpt motto with the acrylic combined. So that has a different sculpt as compared to these two, right? And I actually prefer this one more than the other two, but anyway, it doesn't matter, it's just something different. What happened here, the cable come off, so you need to put it back like that. And it also got this green kind of like cable on the pipe as well, and that one doesn't have it. So yeah, something different, something interesting. The rest of it is pretty much similar to the other two figures, except it doesn't have any features, any decorative features or badges on the legs, except a bit of writing there as well, bit of there as well, and I don't know why there's a white line here. On the left shoulder pad, it just got a print of a cross here. Nothing really special. You got a print here as well. You got a kind of like silver gunmetal color badge on the belt as well. And on the right arm, I love this. It's got a chain sword with the power fist together, and it is an open hand power fist, which is different compared to this one. See, that's a closed hand, that's an open hand. Yeah, I like it. something different. That sums up the details and features of each Terminator here. I'll quickly go over the finishes as well. At first, when I look at the JoyToy preview photos, I thought that they don't have any weathering at all, but in fact these figures have weathering, right? Say if you look at the assault cannon Terminator, you can see it actually got a bit of black shadowing, right, on the edges and even on the shoulder pad here. You see that black shadowing, and even on the assault cannon, right, on the edges of the blue color, they all have weathering. Look at the torso as well, yeah, and the legs as well. See, you got this black weathering on the edge, but of course it is not as obvious as the Intercessor 2. Intercessor 2, you see the shadowing is actually quite obvious. It's actually very dark. But if you look at the Terminator, you see it is a little bit lighter, which is good. It got this shadowing. But of course I like this one a little bit more. But at least the weathering has been applied on these figures. So I'm pretty happy with it. I really like the highlighting on the crust Terminators. They all look really nice. And also look at the crust here. That looks really nice as well. In particular, I really like the metallic color on the lens as well, and I think all the metallic colors looks really nice. And on the painting on the helmet as well, some of them the shadowing is actually less obvious, but this one is more obvious. So they're a little bit kind of different because I think they're hand painted. That's why they're all a little bit different. And on the bolters, the painting on bolters very nice. It's black with the gunmetal base color with the silver highlighting on it. So that looks really nice. And this bolter is different from this bolter by the Sergeant. You see, the magazine is different. And but the Sergeant's bolter also different to the Terminator Captain bolter, right? Terminator Captain bolter is in fact a little bit smaller. So if you look at it together, you see the size differences here, and the magazine also different size as well. I'm not too sure why the Terminator bolter is a little bit bigger than the Terminator Captain, but one thing you realize is the muzzle, the hold here, the muzzle is definitely in the right size. I prefer this to be bigger, but at least this is big enough as compared to the Captain one, right? Look at this one, right? That's just far too small. And as I mentioned before, I am not big fan of this script here, right? The script, it doesn't look nice. It doesn't look very nice. This detail all over the body on the Sergeant, I actually think it makes the figure look stupid. Yeah, it's just too much. I don't mind if you got 1 or 2 script, but it's just too much. So I'm not too happy with it. But the Cyclone Missile Launcher Terminator is better. You got less scripts, over the body, so which I more happy with, I guess, with this one, right? Another thing I'm not too happy with is the letters, right? If you look at the letters here, right, they're print, same as that one, right? On the leg, it is print. I wish it is a recessed, sculpt recessed letters, so it will look much better. So otherwise, the rest of the figure looks pretty good. And in terms of articulation, I already went through the articulation in details on my Terminator Captain video. They are virtually very similar figure anyway, so the articulations are very similar. So I'm probably not going to go through them in details, but I'll go through the head, because the head, right, the Terminator Captain doesn't come with the helmet. Despite the limited space here, it can turn really well. So you can turn like that. Wow, that's actually very nice. I thought that it cannot turn really well, but it can. And the rest of the articulation should be the same as the Terminator Captain. And as I mentioned in that video, I really like the hand articulation. I'm very surprised that it can actually open up so much. You see, it can open so much like that on the Terminators. So I'm very happy with it. Seems like it actually can rotate better than the Intercessor number 3. If you look at it together, you see the Terminator has a little bit wider range of movement. It seems like the Terminator can open up more, just a little bit more, than the Intercessor. So that is a big surprise, didn't expect the Terminator can do that. So JoyToy did a really good job on this figure, and I'm really happy with this. But if you really push it, right, you can push it so much. Look at that, that's amazing, look at that. Whoa, look at the pose. I love it. But as I mentioned before, if you pull this hand out all the time, it become very loose. So you can see my figure. I only put out twice, I guess, and then it became very loose. You see. So so it is something that JoyToy needs to improve on, right? I think the plastic is a hard plastic. It is not very flexible. It happens to the first generation of the JoyToy Warhammer figures, but the same still happening after 2 years, right? So this has to be improved as soon as possible, right? In the conclusion, there are no quality issues or there are no silly mistakes made in the production of these figures, and I reckon that these Terminator figures are really good figures. As I mentioned before in my Terminator Captain video, I already have a high expectation on these Terminator figures, and they didn't disappoint me at all. They are really solid figures, heavy, really well built, and the joints are very strong as well, and I feel very comfortable moving the joints of the figures without being extremely careful with it. So that also means the playability is very good on these figures, and the articulations are really good. Consider that they are bulky, but the articulation is very good, and in particular the shoulders. JoyToy can do really well on simple figures, so I highly recommend them. And make sure come back to check out my next video. I'm gonna have all 6 Terminators in the diorama gallery together with my Landraider as well. Please stay put, keep an eye on my videos, and make sure you have the bell button on so you can watch my video as early as possible. This is the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.